Hey, you found ears, Everyday Artists, Real Songs. I'm your host, Aviva Gold. Today on the show, a life story caught in a single phrase, Home in a Minute by Rubino. Let's take a listen to the song and meet back here for a chat with Carl.
She put her books into her backpack as the bell was about to ring. Down the hall to the school bus each day, same old thing. She climbed up on the bus, slid into her seat, pulled her phone out of her pocket, and she sent this text to me. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, she said. Camel was her makeup, stealth was her trade. Hit 'em hard and run, another force recon day. At night, in the desert, getting short in the sand and the caves. Then it's out for extraction, lest hell gets in the way. Freezing on a mountainside in the suck once again. Stars shining bright, she pulled out a pen. A quick little note, a thought or two, and then, just like always, she said this at the end. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, she said. 20 hours of labor spent but holding strong. She said we'll be heading home tonight. I'll text on the way home. They left that night together in the fog and the rain. Didn't see it coming till it swerved into their lane. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, she said. She lay there in peace, halfway here, halfway gone. Smile on her face, but strangely withdrawn. You could hear the angels sing as she looked up and said, baby's gonna make it, and my husband's on the mend. And she said, Dad, someone's singing my favorite old church song, and I got a funny feeling something strange is going on. I see Mama in the distance, she's bathed in a strange light, and with a fading smile she said these words, just like I knew she might. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, I still hear it in my head. I'll be home in a minute, she said. Home in a minute, hope you're there to let me in.
So lovely. Carl Rubino, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Yeah, I think this is fun.
So we just listened to a version of Home in a Minute that you just sent me tonight, but you may be working on a different version?
And that's because I'm not really sure how I should go about doing a good job with a stereo mix. The actual recording sounds fantastic.
So this is new, this recording, and it's new toys and new skills for you?
Yeah. I mean, I've done simple 2-track recording to digital stereo recorders before, but not multi-tracking. That's new.
What are your tools that you're using?
The workstation I'm using is Logic Pro, and I'm using as an interface a Motu M4, and then, keyboards and guitars and microphones and all that stuff.
And then learning new stuff about how to make it sound the way you want it to sound.
Yeah, how to make it sound the way I want to sound. And from a production point of view, what do I want to put on it?
Yeah.
And do I want to strive for perfection or reality?
I was kind of wondering about that when you sent this recording. It's piano and vocal, and I was wondering if you had intended to add to it.
I probably will, at least bass,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll also probably do doubling of the guitar of the piano tracks, and it'll give it a sort of a big feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see if I like that. There are a lot of ways I could go about playing with this. I'm thinking of perhaps high stringing a guitar, Nashville stringing a guitar, and doing something with that. Maybe just a simple
really nice.
layer. Yeah, or maybe a pad. I don't know. I'm going to play with stuff.
Yeah, so many options. Does that feel overwhelming?
Kind of yes and no. The essence of the song, if it can't be done in a single instrument and the vocal, the song's not there. So you can flush it out with a lot of other instrumentation and make it more dynamic and perhaps more interesting and stuff like that, build the emotion. But I think, in a sense, it's a bigger challenge to deliver it with just the one instrument and a voice. I want to make this an intimate recording. I want it, when somebody listens to it, even if I put some layers on it, I want them to have the feel of what they would hear if they saw me live, or if I was playing in a small listening room venue, or their house. And the reason I mention house is part of the reason I'm doing these recordings is I want to use them to attract people to have me do house concerts. So I don't want to overproduce it and turn it into almost a band thing, because that's not what they're going to get. They're just going to get me. So, like the piano and a bass, piano and a little bit of guitar and sort of in the background, or flip it, guitar with a little bit of piano or something. That's fine. It'll still come across as pretty much a solo recording. That should work.
Do you ever play with a band?
No, I don't have the patience. I actually made an attempt at a band long ago. It didn't work out. I mean, I worked really hard, and, some of the people would show up and they hadn't even learned the song. The singer would show up drunk, and, it just was ridiculous. So I quickly gave up on that idea and decided, I'm just going to do my own thing, because I'm really all about the song. That's the key thing for me, the song itself.
I want to get into this song. Let's keep talking about that intimate feeling of it, because this song it's really touching. When I first heard it, it was in a small listening room, and, I saw it coming a mile away, but I still teared up at the end, and I want to know why, why did I feel that way?
Yeah. It's slice of life. The father's young girl. It starts in her grade school years when she's close with dad and she's sending her message that I'll be home in a minute. And then next scene, she's a Marine Corps Force Recon soldier in, I don't know, Iraq, Afghanistan. It doesn't say where. It doesn't matter. And she's writing, I'll be home in a minute. And she goes through childbirth and death. And it's real touching. I can relate to those because I have 2 daughters. I mean, they're both alive and fine. Neither of them were in the military, but people's kids are.
Yeah, I think when you first hear this song, you think it's her story, but it's not really her story. It's her father's story. And we don't hear a ton of father stories.
Interestingly, as soon as I got the title for this song, I knew immediately what it was going to be.
So yeah, when you got the title, like on your website, you tell a little bit of that story that you were working with somebody, playing some music, and she had to go. And she said, I got to be home in a minute.
That's right.
And you're like, dang, what Dar Williams sometimes says, the door opens. It's a song.
The door opened and a hurricane force wind sucked me out the door to write the song. I immediately knew it was going to be a vignette song about it was going to start with a young girl in school. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I knew it was going to be stages of life all the way to the end. I don't think in the initial moment, other than little schoolgirl, I didn't know what the next stage is. I had a feeling that she's going to be in the military. She's going to be a fighter, and she's going to die in the end. I didn't know what was going to happen after that. As I started writing the song, the motherhood, pregnancy thing came out, and then I decided I was going to kill her on the way home. A lot of this song came out as I was writing. In other words, I'm trying to remember exactly how I did this one. I think the refrain came to me first. Took her phone out of her pocket and she sent this text to me, "I'll be home in a minute." And it was longer than, it was a chorus. And then I shortened it, turned it into a refrain. I don't remember if I actually sketched out the idea of all of the transitions or just decided the periods or the events and then started writing as I was playing, and things developed back and forth between the music and the lyrics. And the reason I don't remember is that's one of the ways I write. I very seldom write in a very structured idea in terms of the lyric. Usually I have more of a vague idea, if anything, and I start playing or I start writing, just writing on paper or on a computer. And it comes together that way, and then I rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. I think I use as many ways of writing a song as exist. A lot of people say, "Oh, do you do the music first? Or you do the lyrics first?" Yeah, both, neither, some at the same time.
Does it happen often like this where it's a phrase or something that you witness or something that you see that you're like, that's a song?
Sometimes. This thing, when Grace said, "I got to be home in a minute," I went, boom. That was a song. And I knew instantly it was a vignette song. We had been co-writing something completely unrelated. And I said to her, "Okay, you inspired that title. You want this to be a co-write?" She said, "No, you just do it on your own." So I did.
Do you write with other people on the regular?
No, mostly I write solo. Every once in a while, I'll do co-writing. I love it, but it just doesn't happen often.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in the position where you can. And it's hard enough sometimes to make it work just on your own. So to get other people or another person in that headspace and have the time at the same time, it's a miracle when it happens.
Yeah, the time at the same time. And, it's such a tender balance of ego and trust and giving and taking. And, I haven't done it in a long, long time, but it's what I think I remember dating was like. You have these awkward moments, and then maybe things come together and maybe they don't. And if it's not working out, you don't want to be rude or anything, but you want to get the hell out of there. And you don't know how much you ought to trust a new person. But when it works, it's really exciting. I've done some co-writing during the pandemic with people I've never met, never even seen. I took a Cafe Lena songwriting workshop during the pandemic. Dan Navarro did the workshop. He, amongst other things, co-wrote Pat Benatar's "We Belong." Well, he's a great songwriter and a great teacher of songwriting. And one of the things he decided to do in that class was pair people. So he paired me with a woman in California named Maria Borges, who said, "I don't play anything hardly at all, but I write." So I figured, okay, great. Send me some lyrics. We'll see what happens. So she sent me some lyrics that were absolutely beautiful, but they were nothing like the kind of thing I could imagine writing for. Because when I read those lyrics, I said to myself, this is like a smoky bar in Paris or New York or something in the 50s and 60s, and somebody's crooning this song. And I like to listen to jazz, but I don't know anything about writing it. So I figured I'm going to give it a shot. So I learned some jazz chords and some common jazz simple progressions and wrote what I guess I refer to as a jazz-influenced ballad with her lyrics. And I love it. It was magical. And it spurred me to write a lot of the jazz-influenced ballads that I've written solo since.
So that's a kind of a new thing in your world.
Oh, yeah. I've been writing for a long, long time. But the jazz stuff is, pandemic.
I've heard you also say that the piano situation is pretty new. Guitar is your main instrument.
Yep.
Can you talk about why you picked up piano and how that's going?
Sure. I've developed arthritis in the knuckles of both hands to the extent that, maybe most people wouldn't recognize it, but sometimes it really gives me difficulty playing. I'll miss notes in my left fingering hand. I'll sometimes drop the pick because I'm not able to squeeze it well enough. I'll also sometimes not be able to press the string down quickly enough. I've been to a specialist who has said, we can't erase this. We can't cure it. It will probably get worse. So I thought, okay, when you play guitar, you have to curl your left hand and squeeze with it. That's a problem. But when you play piano, it's pretty flat, and that's not a problem. And I've always wanted to play piano, so I figured, I guess I have a choice here. Music is one of the most important things in my life, so my choice was either 12 gauge or a piano. I decided to go for the piano. It's a lot less messy. So I started playing piano. I took some lessons, and I've been just going at it ever since, and I love it. It somehow brings out different songs. Home in a Minute is more like a country song I'd play on guitar, but I'm playing it on piano. A lot of the stuff I do on the piano, though, is very, very different than what I do on a guitar.
Why is that?
It voices differently. You have different things you can do with both hands that you can't do on a guitar. And you can do, or at least I can do, inversions on a piano much more easily than I can on a guitar. And as long as I've been playing guitar, I can think and see where the notes are faster on a piano than I can on a guitar. And there's just something else about it. You pick up different instruments and it brings out different things. There are different sounds, different feelings.
Yeah, you do other art too, like photography, and do you paint?
I dabble at painting. I'm pretty serious at photography.
Does the inspiration feel the same for different art?
The inspiration, in a sense, is the same because there's something that burns inside me that makes me have to create something. Years ago, I had an auto accident. I should have been killed. I broke some bones in the right hand. I screwed up my shoulder. I couldn't play guitar at all for a very long time. It took a long time to get back. So I turned to photography because I have to have a creative outlet, and I fell in love with it. And then when my dexterity came back, I could play the guitar, but for some strange reason, the lyrical muse disappeared, and it was gone for years.
When you talked about Home in a Minute, the way it hit you, like I said, Dar William talks about the door opens, or some people talk about like a physical sensation.
I mean, there's an incredibly powerful inward and emotional feeling for me when I'm at the point with a song or a portion of a song where I go, you got it. This is it. It's right. It's overwhelming. It can make me cry, make me laugh. It's really intense.
Do you ever get that feeling that some people describe? They say something like, the song just came to me, or the song wrote itself.
I got a comment that'll piss some people off about that. When somebody says the song wrote itself, I did it in 5 minutes, my response is, too bad. You probably could have made a good song out of it. I mean, somebody might get the crux of a song very quickly, but it's probably really not anywhere near as good as they could make it if they then spend some more time actually working on it.
Yeah, I agree. Working the song, at least for me, is a very rewarding part of the process and a super revealing part of the process. How do you feel about getting input from other people?
I think it's important for people to keep their own artistic vision. Listen for the comments of others, but in any songwriting or critique group, even assuming all the people in it are pretty damn good, they're bound to be one person who says, I think this would be a great idea if you went in this direction. The other one goes, no way, it's got to go in this direction. That doesn't make any sense. And they're all good. I think you have to hold on to your artistic integrity, but at the same time, listen to what other people have to say and evaluate it on your own rather than just accepting it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a fine line, like wanting to make something better or make something different that might not be your own. I bet that's something that people who have chosen to do their art for a living really kind of have to struggle with.
So many people in any creative endeavor who teach it from a position of credibility and knowledge and experience will encourage you to follow your own artistic vision, be unique. And while that does bring out true art, if somebody wants to make money, being unique is a big risk to take. I mean, you can really soar to the top with uniqueness if you're lucky. But if you're worrying about getting your next meal, you might have to shelve uniqueness and do a bunch of cover songs.
So this recording of Home in a Minute that we just listened to is a solo work of art by you, but art sometimes does require collaboration at some level or another. And also it involves like putting it out there in the world and seeing how it lands in the world.
In part, I want to make this whole thing myself, bring it all the way through mixing and then send it out to master, or send it, if I haven't got a really good mix, or even if I think I do, send it out to someone. And if they listen to it and go, I can do a lot better job on mixing, here's what I can do, I'll probably say, go ahead and do it, because I've recorded everything myself. I don't want to do too much, and I don't want to bring anyone else in. I've got all kinds of people saying, I'll do drum tracks for you. And good musicians, I mean, really good, better than I am. Maybe at some point in the future, because I have a game plan here. I'm not just doing this for kicks. I mean, I'm doing it for kicks as well. But I want to come out with I don't know, 6, 7, 8 songs, release them as singles, and use them to attract bookings for small festivals and house concerts.
Kind of what you're more interested in, I'm also hearing, is performing live in small venues and listening rooms where people are listening. Those are very special places.
Yeah, and that's also, the simply produced music is the stuff that I tend to like the most. I mean, I can appreciate a whole 30-track arrangement of music and stuff. It's great, but it's not what I like to listen to the most. I mean, my favorite way to hear music is songwriter in the round. Just a guy or a gal and their guitar or piano and nothing else. Just give me the song and give me the person that wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly not the only way to enjoy great music, but those kinds of performances have been among the most powerful performances that I've experienced.
That's really interesting. I think there's far more human connection in music, the fewer people that are involved.
I don't know if that's always true, but that human connection is pretty much the point of the whole endeavor, in my opinion. Carl, this has been a really great discussion. Thank you again so much for doing this with me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Carl Rubino, everybody. Catch him playing live throughout the North Country or on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, or on his website at carlrubinomusic.com. This has been Ears. Thanks for listening.
She put her books into her backpack as the bell was about to ring. Down the hall to the school bus each day, same old thing. She climbed up on the bus, slid into her seat, pulled her phone out of her pocket, and she sent this text to me. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, she said. Camel was her makeup, stealth was her trade. Hit 'em hard and run, another force recon day. At night in the desert, getting short in the sand and the caves. Then it's out for extraction, lest hell gets in the way. Freezing on a mountainside in the suck once again. Stars shining bright, she pulled out a pen. A quick little note, a thought or two, and then, just like always, she said this at the end. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, she said. 20 hours of labor spent but holding strong. She said we'll be heading home tonight. I'll text on the way home. They left that night together in the fog and the rain. Didn't see it coming till it swerved into their lane. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute, she said. She lay there in peace, halfway here, halfway gone. Smile on her face, but strangely withdrawn. You could hear the angels sing as she looked up and said, baby's gonna make it, and my husband's on the mend. And she said, Dad, someone's singing my favorite old church song, and I got a funny feeling something strange is going on. I see Mama in the distance. She's bathed in a strange light, and with a fading smile she said these words, just like I knew she might. I'll be home in a minute. It's what she always said. Home in a minute. I still hear it in my head. I'll be home in a minute. In a minute, she said. Home in a minute. Hope you're there to let me in.